I just got more light bulbs in this room, and it is still freaking dark in here. There we go. Hey viewers, this is Tuesday on the Pagan Perspective, and I'm your host for the day, Kara, and this week's topic, this is week 20? This is week 20. And I'm keeping track of that because I made a playlist on my personal channel of all my Pagan Perspective videos. So all the Tuesdays from the Pagan Perspective are in a playlist on my channel. But anyways, this is week 20, and our topic this week is first spells, and that was suggested by White Milk is a Rapper 89. So thank you for this suggestion. And I interpreted this question as what was our first spell, and then I just added on my own kind of stuff that we could also talk about what's like the first type of spell that we think people should learn, or what's the first type of spell that we learned, kind of thing. So first of all, where I don't consider them spells, I agree with Austin in his Sunday video where he said that grounding and centering is like one of the most important things to learn. So there's like dust on the side of my webcam. Okay, yeah, so I think that grounding and centering and learning how to draw a circle and stuff like that, cast a circle, draw a circle. Depending on the tool you use, it could be drawing a circle. But anyway, I think that that is important, but I don't consider those spells. So the first spell that I ever did that I didn't know was a spell at the time is something that my mom calls a doorknob spell. And this is a funny story. I've been wanting to tell you guys this story for a long time, so at least this finally comes up. So it's called a doorknob spell. And it came about because of, you know those little like dry erase whiteboards that come in the thing with like a hole that you hang it on your doorknob, and so you can write messages on your door hanger, like doorknob hanger thing. Only the one I had was the ones from like the dollar store. I probably even have it somewhere in this room still. I don't know. Maybe I got rid of it. Whatever. But it was the kind from the dollar store that was like made of this brightly colored, like foamy kind of material, and it was just like a big oval like this. That's not an oval because I'm trying to make it big. See? There we go. It was like an oval like that, and it had a hole at the top, and it had this little like dry erase board. Came with a little marker. And I used to like to put sort of like Facebook statuses and stuff. I would write Kara is at the top and underline it, and then I would just change the status. And one night I didn't want to go to bed. Like I just wasn't tired, and I had to get up for school in the morning. So I wrote on it, Kara is not a morning person. And then the next morning, I woke up, lo and behold, somehow my alarm had gone off and I hadn't heard it. My mom's alarm had gone off and she hadn't heard it. So no one in the house had woken up. And I woke up like an hour and a half late for school, which I'm never late to school because I always hear my alarm. We had like 3 alarms in the house that no one heard. And so like after school that day, I came back and I read that on my door, and I was like, I wonder. So I erased not, like I left it and I just erased the word not, so it said Kara is a morning person. And the next day I woke up like an hour early for school. And then I went back to sleep, and then I woke up when I heard my alarm, kind of thing. So my mom determined that it counted as like a spell, like a positive affirmation, like putting it out to the universe, it's going to make it come true. Like, oh, you told everyone you're not a morning person, so they're going to make you 2 hours late to school. Awesome. Well, I hated that. That sucked. So, but yeah, so there's that. It's called a doorknob spell. Not so sure if I ever want to do it again. But the thing that I normally always do is just, I'm going to call them universal requests, because I use it for positive affirmations as well as banishing negative influence. But I do the same thing for both. And that is, actually, let me show you. Okay, so this is how I do universal requests. I've got this thing right here, which is a big giant seashell thing that I burn stuff in, obviously. Okay, so all I do is I get a little piece of scrap paper, and I will write something either positive that I want to happen or something negative that I want to get rid of. In the interest of not making this a depressing video, I will write something happy. Something happy, something happy. What do I want? What do I want? What do I want from the universe right now that can be happy? Just as an example. Okay, I'm gonna wish for... So, this is my wish right here. Creativity and real friendships, because I've been dealing with a lot of not real friendships. So then, the next thing I do is, well, you can fold it or whatever, but the next thing you do is, you light this on fire. The incense match. These things are awesome. And you go, boop. Drop it in there. Just let it burn out. This has now become an incense stick, which is why I love the incense matches, so it can go right there. Now, as soon as that all burns out and just becomes a bunch of ash, and if it doesn't, by the way, if you use a really big piece of paper, wait till it burns out like that, pick up the big piece, relight it, put it in there. I normally use a lighter, but I don't have a lighter anymore at the moment, so I use incense matches. And then, the last thing that you want to do, when you've got all just ash in here, what I do is I either immediately, or I just wait until I have the opportunity to, I go outside and I pour these ashes on the ground somewhere. I like to go out in the woods and do it. Sometimes if it's like really cold, I'll just put it outside, like in front of my house kind of thing. I like to do it especially when it's windy, because then the imagery of it being carried off into the air sort of helps me think that it's going off into the universe, and it's more likely to come true that way. But sometimes I just don't get out of the house for a while, like I have other stuff going on, so I will leave it in here for a while, and then put it outside whenever. But in my opinion, it doesn't start to work until it is outside and out into the universe and away from you. Because you have to get things completely out of your mind for the universe to be able to take care of it, you know? Like if you're still stressing over it, you haven't fully given it up to the universe, and so the universe can't fully help you. So that's my favorite kind of spell to do for positive or negative sort of thing. Well, I mean, bringing something to you or getting rid of something, that's not really positive or negative. So that was the first kind of spell that I did purposely. Like the doorknob spell was on accident. First kind of spell that I think that everyone should know how to do, I would say positive affirmation, really. I think positive affirmation is extremely important, whether it's writing something down on your doorknob, or writing it down and burning it, or writing something in the sand if you're at the beach, or I don't even know, doodling notes in your notebook and then forgetting about them. Same thing. Or making a YouTube video. If you make a YouTube video saying what you want, that is putting your request out to the universe. That is putting your request out to the YouTube-verse, but it's also putting your request out to the universe. And so I do think positive affirmation is one of the most helpful things that anyone involved in any amount or level of magic could use. Maybe positive affirmation is the second, because the other thing that's really, really super important to me is protection spells. And actually, now that I think about it, that was actually the first thing that I did. My cousin and I, when I was really little, we made up our own little protection spell chant thing, but we didn't know that's what it was at the time. It was like, when I was really little, it was before I even knew what Wicca was, kind of thing. So we did that, and I do that all the time, and it is still the only protection, like, chant spell thing that I have come across that I feel works for me. I'm not going to tell you what it is, because it's secret. It's my personal private thing, but I think that's also really cool. So if you come up with your own protection thing, like just a rhyme or like a little poem, and you turn it into like a chant kind of thing, that is like the best thing you could ever do, because it's completely in tune with your energy. And I have told a couple people what it was if I really, really thought that they needed to use it, and I would use it with them, kind of thing. But, so I hope you don't take offense that I'm not going to tell you, but come up with your own protection spell thing and use it, or anything, really. I think I covered all of my bases here with what we were talking about, and I even some product placement by Incense Matches. They're awesome. Next week, it'll be a new year, guys. We've got some cool stuff coming up. Actually, New Year's Day, be on the lookout for a special video from us, as well as our regular Fridays. So, I will see you guys, well, you'll see me on Friday, but I'll see you next Tuesday, next year. Okay, so everyone have a good holiday season, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.